proper track tension is one of those simple maintenance tasks that can have a massive difference.
I did know that, Matt. So we're dealing with a track here, obviously. This is a pretty high ticket item. We want to make sure we get as most life out of this track as we can.
Of course you did, because you're our expert. That's Taylor from Kubota. I'm Matt West. Thanks for hanging out with us. Today, Taylor's going to be talking through our track tension specifications, how to adjust and make sure they are properly adjusted. And I got to be honest with you, I have no idea where to even begin.
It can be kind of overwhelming, Matt. Obviously, we already have this machine up in the air, but the initial first step generally would be to jack the machine up and get jack stands under it. We want to make sure we're not relying on a hydraulic jack to keep the machine in the air. So we do have jack stands under here, and while it is on jack stands, we want to make sure that we're staying clear of the machine and anything under it.
Well, no different than anything else we do. Safety first.
Safety first, yes, sir.
Okay, from that point, what's the next step?
So the next step is going to be just a visual inspection of our track, and then our sprocket and all of our rollers. We just want to look for any sort of rock or mud buildup, other debris, any initial track damage that might be jumping out at us, wires, things like that.
So it's basically just the eye test to make sure that there's nothing that would impede anything we're about to do.
You're exactly right.
Okay, looks good to me.
Yeah, it looks good to me too, Matt. I don't see anything super abnormal. So let's go ahead and get this measurement so we can see exactly where we're at for track tension.
Okay, so how are we properly going to measure this?
So if you want to go ahead and grab the straight edge and the tape measure, and while we're explaining the process, we'll just go ahead and do it.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to start with the straight edge, and we've got 4 idler rollers here. We're actually going to be measuring in between the center of the 2 middle rollers. So what we're going to do is just grab this straight edge and place it across these 2 rollers with the base of the straight edge on the base of the rollers. So if you want to kind of hold that right there for me. And so with this tape, you will need a friend to help you do this, most likely, to get the most accurate measurement. With this tape, we're going to go from the tall center portion of the track up to the base of our straight edge. And I'm seeing somewhere around 1.5 to 1.75 inches here, Matt, that we've got.
Okay, so what does it need to be?
So the spec for this is 20 to 30 millimeters.
Okay, talk English to me.
Okay, so it's going to be 0.8 inches to 1.2 inches. So about 1 inch is what we're looking for.
Okay, so you're telling me this is a little loose.
This track is too loose.
Okay, so what are we going to do about it?
Let's increase that track tension.
Okay, that sounds easy enough.
All right.
You're the expert, so I'll let you tell the folks how we're going to do that.
Okay, we'll leave this here because as we're increasing the track tension, we obviously don't want to over tension the track. We'll leave this here, we'll increase it a little bit, check, and then we can increase as needed.
Okay, what do you need from me?
So these are going to be a 17 millimeter, I believe, if you can grab that for me. And the ratchet, thank you, sir.
Gotcha.
So we're going to pop this cover off, hopefully real quick. Someone had a couple Ugga-Dugs on it, but not too much. All right, Matt, we've got this cover off here. This is the grease zerk that we're going to be dealing with.
Okay.
So in this instance, like you said, these are too loose. So we want to increase the tension. So what we're going to do is add grease to this zerk, and what that's going to do is push our piston here up to that front roller and extend that distance, and that's going to make us have a tighter track.
Okay, so just for argument's sake, if it was too tight, what would we be doing?
So if this track was too tight, all we would want to do is loosen this wide fitting here that the zerk is actually threaded into.
Okay.
A few turns and be slow with this because we want to be methodical and not let too much grease out. But you loosen that fitting and let some of that grease seep out. Then you would tighten it back up, check your measurement, and continue if needed.
Patience and taking our time is something that we're going to do throughout this entire process, right?
You're right. So this, again, we're talking about tracks. These are a high ticket item, and we want to make sure we get this right.
Okay, but it is too loose, and so need the grease?
Yes. Yep. If you want to grab the grease for me. A little break on the knee there.
Well, you're getting old. It happens.
All right, so like I said, we don't want to overshoot this. So what I'm going to do is just increase the tension a little bit. We're going to grab another measurement, see where we're at, and go from there.
Okay, sounds easy enough.
So we're just going to pop this grease gun on our zerk here, like that. You see our track rising here?
Yeah.
So we were at about 1.25 inches, which is still not good, is it?
We're almost there.
2 more pumps. 3, just for good measure.
I like it. I like where your mind's at.
All right, last and final check, hopefully, Mayor Matt. I like it.
I like how, even though we stopped, we remeasured, we did it again, we stopped, we remeasured, we did not get in a hurry. And again, a lot of times we get so caught up in time efficiency,
Right.
but making sure that we're going in the right direction without getting too much of in a hurry,
Yeah.
honestly saves us a whole lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, in the long run, how long was that, Matt?
Maybe
couple minutes, right?
couple extra seconds that
Yeah.
we spend.
Yeah, so we're good then. So we've got our track tension to where it needs to be.
Okay.
And we would just repeat this process on the other side.
Okay, so now that we're done here, I guess we're just disconnect.
We are, yep, that is gonna be our next step. Okay. Let me get this off of here. Perfect. All right, actually, our final step is gonna be just slap this cover back on.
Okay.
While we're here, let's talk a little bit about some of the consequences of maybe having too tight of a track or too loose of a track.
That's a really good point. Okay, so if we would have not measured that and that would have stayed too loose, what are some of the real world issues that we would have faced?
Yeah, so one of the major concerns with too loose of a track is actually derailing of the track, or detracking is what I like to call it. And that is basically where the track just comes off while you're operating.
Obviously, we're going to be incurring a bunch of repairs and a lot of time,
A lot of
time away from the job site, which in turn is going to cost us money.
Yep, exactly right. And then, so there's a couple other things that you'll get with too loose of a track. You will actually get the track colliding with the sprocket, which can cause some impact wear, and we don't want that.
Okay, so what would happen if the track was too tight?
So if we have a track that's too tight, all that will really do is accelerate wear on all of our drive components and track wear in general. So I say all that will really do, but that's actually pretty major there.
It is obviously a big deal, but another big deal that we kind of talked about was the specifications. Where do we get those specifications at?
So those specifications can be found in your operator's manual.
Okay, so any other track maintenance tips you have for us?
Really what it comes down to, Matt, is that we're keeping an eye on these and we're checking more frequently if we need to, depending on the conditions that we're in. But we want to just make sure that we maintain a clear area here for our sprockets and track to ride on.
Sounds good. So ultimately, everything we did here today was very straightforward, but has a major impact on the durability of our equipment.
You're right, Matt. All this is about is just preventing major problems down the road.
I knew I was right. You know what else I'm right about? The more time that these can stay on the job site, it equals more money in your pocket, and that's what being a business owner is all about. So with that being said, if you got any more questions, all you've got to do is contact your local Kubota dealer or give my guy Taylor a call. I'll send you his cell phone number.